A few reminders for you all as we get started. Hopefully you have a mat, a blanket, a towel, some sort of cushioned surface that feels comfortable for your body to move on today. We will be moving through some exercises laying down on our backs, being prone on our stomachs. We'll even be in a quadruped position or on the side of the body throughout today's class. So you just want a little bit of extra cushion to feel comfortable where you are. And it is now 11:45, so we'll go ahead and officially get started. Welcome to our Wednesday Pilates class. I hope you all are having a really nice week. If you are not sure that you're having a nice week, and maybe this is your opportunity to center and refocus and conquer what lies ahead, then I'm with you. And we're going to take a few minutes, or a few moments rather, at the beginning of class to just do a body scan to kind of assess how we are feeling in our body and in our mind before we get started today. So you all can start by laying down on your mat, reach your toes to one end of the room and your head to the other. Hands can be on our chest, on our belly. You can place them by your sides, around your waist, whatever feels most comfortable for you. And I want us to start breathing and really focusing on the breath. Slowly inhaling through the nose. Hold that breath for 2 seconds and then exhale slowly through the mouth. So we'll try that again. Inhale slowly for a count of 4. Hold that breath for 2 counts. And then exhale slowly for a count of 4. Good. Just go ahead, move through that sequence. Inhale for a count of 4. Hold for a 2 count. Exhale on a 4 count. That may sound different for each and every one of us, but I want you to find what works for you. Now let's keep that breathing in play. And as you breathe, we're going to do a body scan. So starting from the very top of our head, acknowledging how does our head feel? Do we feel any sinus pressure? Springtime is coming around, it's possible. Are we feeling any pressure in our cheekbones? Are we holding tension in our jaw? Be aware of that. Maybe you already know what it's from. Maybe you can get curious there. And as we scan down to our shoulders and our neck, notice how those shoulders feel. Do they feel a little tight or tense? Maybe they're open and settling into that mat. Scanning further down to our chest. Once again, acknowledging our breath. Keeping that breath, inhaling for a count of 4. Holding for 2. And exhaling for a count of 4. Scanning down further to our belly. Noticing maybe if we're hungry, maybe we're full, maybe we're feeling good, maybe we feel nervous or excited about something. Scanning to our hips. How do those hips feel? Have we been seated most of the day? Is this our opportunity to move and be mindful of any tension we're holding onto in our low back or those hips? And then scanning down to the legs, noticing the quads and the knees. Do our legs need a little bit of extra love today? Maybe we stretch them out a bit more during class or afterwards. And then scanning all the way down to our ankles and our toes. Noticing how that joint feels, how the foot feels. Can we wiggle the toes around? Can we roll out through those ankles? And from there, just start bringing that movement up into your body, through the legs. Maybe we take some little side bends, roll the shoulders back, wiggle the fingers, whatever you need to do. But we're coming back to this moment, right where we are after our body scan. Finding another big inhale through the nose. Hold it for a 2 count. Exhale for a count of 4. And then let's start to move. All right, inhale the arms overhead. Exhale those hands back down by your sides, just finding a big sweeping motion through the shoulders. Nice long neutral spine here. We've created awareness from the head all the way to the toes. Now, can we carry that awareness with us throughout our class today? Can we be mindful of what our body needs? And even more mindful of what our minds need? Inhale, arms overhead. As we exhale, bring that right knee into the chest gently. Sweep hands and feet to opposite walls. Exhale, left knee to the chest. Good. Keep continuing from there. I'm going to adjust my camera. I think I told you guys last week, I'm in a new space, so I'm still trying to figure it out. There we go. Big inhale. Exhale that knee to the chest and reach. On this last one, can we hug both knees into the chest gently, allowing ourselves to rock from side to side? Feel that small massage at the base of the spine. From there, we'll press our feet towards the mat. Arms come wide to our sides. We'll drop the knees to the left and then over to the right. And while we do that, note that you can nod your chin in the opposite direction of the knees here. Inhale and exhale. Notice that internal and external rotation happening at the hips. Final time. From there, our knees come back to center, hands by our sides, activate through the glutes, lift the hips up into your first bridge of the day, and then come back down. We're starting with our flat back bridge, keeping energy through the posterior chain, through this back and the glutes and the hamstrings, pressing energy into those toes. Core is still nice and strong. And we also still have space between our chin and the chest. 2 and 1 more. As we hold those hips lifted, come down with spinal articulation. So the top of the back connects with the mat, then the middle of the back, from there the low back, and then the hips. Now, can we lift up in the reverse manner? Scoop through the pelvis, lift the hips up bone by bone by bone. Coming up tall into that bridge. When you're ready, roll back down through the spine. Keeping that articulation, scooping and pressing up. We lengthen through the spine, roll down bone by bone by bone. Final time, scoop through the pelvis, lift up. Hold your bridge, reach those knees towards your toes. Find that length and release. From here, our feet reach all the way across the mat, moving into our hundreds. And we start back with those arms, reaching them overhead. Exhale, nod the chin, lift head and shoulder blades off of the mat. From here, can you lift your right leg? Good. Pump the arms. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhaling through the nose for 5 counts. Exhale through the mouth for 5 counts. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. Keep it going. We're staying with that right leg extended and lifted off of the mat. Final time. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. We release. Let's reassess. We're halfway through. Big inhale, reach the arms overhead. Exhale, nod the chin forward. Head and shoulder blades come off the mat. Left leg elevates. We continue. Finish strong. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pointing through that left toe. Keep the inhale through the nose and out through the mouth. You're more than halfway there. Don't you worry. And final time, inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Reach the arms overhead. Both feet connect with the floor. From here, we roll up with articulation. Roll the body over those thighs. Roll down. Keeping spinal articulation. Reach the arms overhead. Inhale. Exhale. Roll yourselves up. Reach for those toes. And then come back down one vertebra at a time. 2 more opportunities for these roll-ups. Up and over. Release. Final time. Big reach, fold over the toes and reconnect with the mat below. Very good. All right, from here, we move into our leg circles. Keeping the left heel down, right leg reaches to the ceiling. Can you trace a small circle around the ceiling with that big toe? All of this mobility comes from our hip. Stability comes from the core. So draw that belly button towards your spine. Keep the shoulders glued to the mat and then reverse your direction. Take that leg out and back up to the top of that circle every time. Keep that core strong. We have 2 and 1. That right knee falls into the chest. Give yourselves an opportunity to roll out through that ankle. From there, we'll send the right foot all the way back out. Left leg lifts up for those small circles. Same thing on this side. Trace that big toe across and around. Finding your circles. Chest is open. Breathing simply in through the nose. Out through the mouth. When you're ready, reverse the direction of those leg circles. Remember, we want mobility in the hip, stability in the core and the pelvis. We have 3, 2, and 1 more time. When you're ready, that knee pulls into the chest, moving into our Pilates 5 ab series. Nod the head and shoulder blades off of the mat. Hands at our left shin bone, right leg elevates. For single bent leg stretch, we extend and switch. Elbows stay wide. Of course, it's working. It's our Pilates 5 ab series. So keep it in play. Know that you have the option of keeping the knees bent and tapping the toes towards the mat. We have 3, 2, and last one. Both knees come into the chest. Hands reach out, away from the feet, sweep it around. There's double leg stretch. We reach out in opposition, pull the knees back into the chest. Can we do 3 more? Out and in, 2, and 1 more time, reach and pull it in. Take those toes to the ceiling. One hand to your calf muscle, the other leg lowers. Oh yes, feel that hamstring stretch and switch. We're feeling a little tight here. We need to bring the head and shoulders down and allow our hands to find the hamstring. You may do so. Continue alternating those legs. Inhale, exhale, switch. Inhale, exhale, switch. Final time on each leg. From there, zip up through the inner thighs, hands by our sides as we lower the legs about 6 inches. Lift them back up. Lower, lower, and lift. You can stay here, or option, find a tabletop position with the knees. We hinge at the hips, tap the toes down, and lift up. We could even do this 1 leg at a time. Lower and lift, whichever option you choose. You've got 2 and 1. From there, knees come into tabletop. Hands find the base of the skull for crisscross. Opposite shoulder, the opposite knee, twist. And switch. You can take these slow, or you can go fast. You get to choose. 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring it down. Hug those knees into the chest. And release. Relax your breath. Relax that tension. All right, now, feet come back down to the mat. We've done this before. Hands into that figure T. Rotate. Drop your knees across the body. Getting a little rotation through the low back, The hips up and over to the other side. Great job. One more in each direction. Beautiful. All right, from here, the knees lift. We'll bring one of those knees to the chest. Use it to roll yourselves up into a seated position with the legs out in front of us in an L-sit. The shoulders are stacked right over the hips. Hands come forward for spine stretch forward. Nod the chin over the thighs. Reach it for those knees and then come back up one vertebra at a time. Inhale, exhale, rounding over. Exhale, lift back up. One more time. Inhale, exhale, round over, reach the forehead to the knees, come back up nice and tall, and release. All right. Taking our feet about the distance of our mat or perhaps hip distance apart, hands reach in opposition. Now we rotate, draw the chin down, reach for that outside of the foot. Come on up. We call this saw. Rotate, reach across for that toe, stack it up, and reverse. You can take this at your own pace. We can go slow. We can take these faster. I ask that you just breathe and think about mobilizing and articulating through the spine. Rotate, roll down, reach, stack it up, rotate, roll down, and reach. Final one on either side. Let it flow. And come up. Release. Hands or feet come together. Hands walk themselves back until we're on our elbows. All right, take this opportunity to just breathe, open up through the chest, let that spine get nice and long. If you want to stay right here, you can. If you want a little bit more, lift the right leg, point up, flex down. Good, you guys stay there. I'm going to check our participation very quickly, make sure I have everyone registered. Good, just keep breathing, continue to open up through that chest. If you want to keep lifting and lowering those legs, you can alternate from right over to the left. Awesome. Okay, I think I got everyone checked in. And release. All right, from there, both feet down on the mat. We're going to lift ourselves up and come over to our sides. As we come onto our sides, our spine is aligned with the very back edge of our mat. Don't worry, we're still on our mat. We still have that cushioned surface in front of us, but that allows our feet to come forward to the front corner of the mat, making an angle in our body. Hips, knees, ankles, shoulders, all stacked one on top of the other. Rib cage is lifted, top leg lifts and lowers. Now, let's pay attention to our eye gaze. With those feet right in front of us, it's so easy to want to look down at them, but keep those eyes looking forward. Make sure you have your spinal alignment here. We have 3 more leg lifts, 2, and 1. Hold it lifted, pulse that heel towards the ceiling. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now point the toe, sweep the leg forward in a circular motion. So go forward for 3, 2, 1. Reverse it, opposite direction. 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold. That leg is at the top. We flex the foot and externally rotate. So toes to the ceiling, heel down. Come down, connect those heels, lift it up. As we externally rotated, did you notice that your body wanted to fall backwards? It happens often, but reassess. Make sure your hips, shoulders, and knees are all stacked, as are your shoulders. Rib cage is lifted. We have 2 more lifts here. And 1, hold it there. Flex that foot towards the ceiling. Pulse 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release. Good. Now, from here, we internally rotate through the hips. So, toes face down, heel faces up, lift and lower. Is that rib cage still lifted? Did your hips want to fold forward on your mat? Try not to let that happen. Keep the hips stacked. We have 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hold it lifted. Pulse up. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release. Give yourselves a little myofascial release there. As we do so, top knee comes forward. It comes right in line with our hip, and we move to that bottom leg, lifting and lowering, working through our adductors or our inner thighs. Shoulders and hips are still stacked. Our eye gaze is still looking forward. And do not forget to breathe. So important that we breathe. 3, 2, 1. Pulse that foot towards the ceiling. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Point the toes, circle that leg forward. 3, 2, 1, and reverse it. 3, 2, 1, and drop that leg down with control. Reach your opposite leg out on top. Fold those knees in. From here, externally rotate. Take the knee to the ceiling. Bring it back down. Good. So we're finding these external rotators. Sometimes we call them clams. That's a familiar name, oftentimes for most people I work with. So you can think of these as clamshells, just taking that knee, pressing it back to provide that external rotation of the hip. You have 2 more. Hold this one here. Lift your ankles up. Now bring it down. Bottom knee stays connected, opening and closing with those feet lifted and hovering off of the mat. 2 and 1. Hold this diamond shape. Drop your bottom ankle. Come up. Drop. Lift. 5, 4, 3. Is that rib cage lifted? 2 and 1. Release. Knees together, ankles down. Come up onto your elbow. So I have been super in love with side planks for the last year. So we will continue to work on our side planks. Find yourselves on your elbow, bottom knee bent, top leg extended. Good. So we're coming into that side plank, and I'm just pulling my shirt a little tighter so you can see that we're not sinking into this shoulder or into that bottom hip. We want to stay lifted. Draw your belly in, stack your shoulders right over one another, and keep your spine long. Now holding it here. 3, 2, and 1. Release. Good. Stack those knees one on top of the other. Hand to our ankle. Come all the way over for a little side body stretch. Good. All right, lift it up. Before we go fully into that side body stretch, or to the other side rather, we're going to do a little bit of extra internal and external rotation. I want us to find a Z sit. Funny word, but we're making a Z, or here it would be Z sit with our legs. So one knee, both knees folded, one foot towards the thigh, hands come back behind us, and we're just going to sway the legs from one side to the other. Very similar to what we did earlier when we were laying down and we took the knees from one side of our body to the other, only now our chest is upright. So sway those knees, 2 and 1. Now, as you come back over, drop that side knee, and the one most external, we're going to lift up the ankle. So that means we internally rotate at the hip. The ankle lifts and lowers. Good. Now, if you felt a cramping sensation through the hip, that's kind of normal or common. It happens pretty frequently. We can drop down to that elbow to create more space here and open up through the side body. Lift and lower. Good. Let's do 4, 3, 2, and one more time. Hold it lifted. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. As that leg comes down, lift yourselves up. Sway the knees from side to side. And we'll go to the other leg. So we switch our Z-sit position, coming to that other leg, knee stays connected, internally rotate at the hip, the ankle comes up. If you need to adjust somewhere on your mat or wherever you're practicing with us today, feel free to do so. Remember, you can always come down to that elbow to open up through the side body, but we're just gently lifting that ankle, lowering it down. Good. Let's do 3. 2, control it on the way down. I know, I almost forgot. And last one, hold it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. As you release, sway the knees again. Yep. Go from side to side. 3, 2, and 1. Good. As we get ready, we switch to our other side for side lines. So come around to the other side of your mat, whatever you need to do to find the other side of your body. Spine aligns with the back edge of the mat, feet come forward. We start with our top leg, lifting and lowering. It's coming right in line with the top of our hip. Core strong. Remember your points of contact. Shoulders, hips, knees, and ankles. They're all stacked one on top of the other, and our eye gaze continues to look forward for our neutral spine. Could you thread that imaginary piece of paper between your rib cage and the floor below? That'll help you kind of be mindful of core engagement. 3, 2, and 1. Pulse that foot towards the ceiling. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Point the toe, circle that top foot forward. Brush the inner thighs together and reverse it. From there, hold that leg lifted. Flex the foot, externally rotate at the hip. Lift the leg up, bring the heels together. Up and down. We have found our external rotation at the hip. Yes, my friends, lots of internal and external rotation today. 3, 2, and 1. Hold it lifted, pulse that foot up. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. As the leg comes down, internally rotate, toes towards the floor, ankle towards the ceiling, lift and lower. There you go. Don't forget to breathe. 3, 2, and 1. Hold it lifted, pulse it. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bringing it down. Top leg comes forward. You can give yourselves a little myofascial release if you need it. That knee stays stacked and in line with our hip. Bottom leg lifts and lowers. Find that core stability. Lift the rib cage up, and down. Great job. I know it's a little tedious once we get to that other side. You know exactly what to expect, so stay engaged. 2, and 1. Hold the bottom foot lifted, pulse it up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Point the toe, circle it forward, and reverse it. 3, 2, 1. Release. Top leg reaches back out. The knees bend in and we move into those clams again. So find that external rotation. Press your knee back behind you. All the while, shoulders and hips remain stacked. Core is still in control. It's still engaged. You have 3, 2, and 1. Hold that leg open. Lift the feet off of the mat. Close and back up. There you go. So a little bit of a balance challenge here once those ankles lift off of the mat. 3, 2, and 1. Hold that diamond shape. Drop the bottom ankle, lift it up, lower, and lift. 2 more. And last one. Ankles come down, knees come together, and release. Come all the way up onto that elbow. Finding our side plank. Bottom knee bends. Top leg extends. Shoulders right over our ankle, or oh goodness, elbow. It's been one of those weeks. Yeah, starting to forget what things are called. All right, we've got that space between our rib cage and the floor, neutral spine. That means we're not doing this or this. I see a lot of people do that. That is right in line with our spine. Stay lifted, stay lifted. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hips come down, knees in, lift it up, fold it over. Good. All right. From here, we're going to go into a true mermaid stretch. We haven't done one of these in a while. So that Z-sit that we just did, we're finding again. All right, now I'm going to adjust my camera just slightly. All right, so we have one shin bone shining in front of us, the other off to our side. Hand comes to our ankle, and we lift all the way over for our side body stretch. So this is our full mermaid, and we release back down, one elbow connects, and reach over the head, over the side rather. And another time, up and over. Now, if our hips are not loving this, that's okay. You can find another option. Crisscross seated works great. We can go from side to side. We can also do this in a chair. Really, the goal of this movement is to sink into lateral flexion, opening up through the side body. This just adds internal and external rotation of the hips, which we encourage for hip mobility. Final time on each side, come up and over. Good. As we come up nice and tall, bring your legs around. We get to do it all again on the other side. So opposite shin bone shines forward, the other one over to our side. You may immediately notice, oh, this side's way tighter than the other. That's okay. Move through it as best you can, or find crisscross or another seated option. Hand to our ankle, reach the arm overhead, open up through that side body. Exhale, float over. Inhale. Exhale. One more time, reach it over. If you need to hold it a little bit longer, that's okay. And come all the way over. Good. Back up we go. Nice. Finding quadrupeds. So we bring our knees down towards the mat, hands under our shoulders. Hair's a little staticky today. All right, so from our quadruped position, eye gaze is looking down, toes are tucked under. Shift your hips back towards your heels. Yes, enjoy that stretch for your feet. And then slide forward. Press the hips back. Gently release forward. We'll do that one more time. And hold your quadruped with your toes tucked under. Can you press some energy into them and hover your knees off of the mat? Hello, core. Hold it. 3, 2, 1. The knees release. Drop the hips back. Slide the shoulders forward. Find quadruped. Hover the knees. Good. 3, 2, 1. Knees drop. Hips back. Slide the shoulders forward. Find quadruped. Hover the knees. Good. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's do it one more time. Slide back. Slide forward. Find quadruped. Hover. Good. Bring those knees off of the mat. We press the floor away. 3, 2, 1, and reconnect. From there, move into a little bit of cat and cow. So we're rounding the spine up, then dropping the belly through. Inhale. Exhale. Continue moving through this spinal articulation. Round the back, push the floor away. As you drop the belly through, send your sits bones towards the ceiling. Now find your neutral spine. Extend the right arm forward and the left leg back. Good. If you need to adjust anywhere, take note of that. Get adjusted and release. From there, left arm, right leg. Reach for opposite walls. Get that glute to engage and come back down. Reach in opposition and come back. Final time on each arm and each leg. As we find quadruped for the final time, tuck the toes under, send the hips towards the ceiling. Into a little down dog, a nice stretch for the hamstrings and the calves. Big inhale, exhale, shift forward into a plank. Good. Round out through those shoulders. Keep the spine long. We hold our plank for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Press back into your down dog. 3, 2, 1. Press back into plank. It's your final plank of the day. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Knees come down. Take them wide on your mat. Toes together. Shift all the way back into your rest pose. Finding this opportunity to make fists with your hands or roll out through those wrists. Wiggle the fingers. And breathe. So, we did a little body scan earlier. And we're going to close with another body scan. If this is a comfortable position to do that from, great. If not, slowly begin to roll yourselves up and come back onto your backs, laying down. We'll extend our feet to one end of the room and our heads to the other end of the room. I'll once again ask that you just find your hands somewhere comfortable. Bring yourselves back to your breath. And let's start from the toes. Acknowledging how our feet and our ankles feel. Taking it up to those calves and the knees. And then the hips. Perhaps they feel a bit more open than they were before our class started. Maybe we feel less tension in our low back. Scanning to our belly, acknowledging our hunger status. Maybe we're full. Finding ourselves, noticing the breath. Being mindful of our chest. Is our heart rate just slightly elevated? Do we feel that our blood is actually moving through our body after that movement? I believe it is. Taking note of our shoulders, our neck. Being mindful of our hands. How do those wrists feel? And then scanning back up to our head. Perhaps we feel a sense of clarity. Maybe there's a bit of stress still. Maybe we're thinking about that to-do list that is still in front of us. But I ask that you come back to this moment. Acknowledge your body and all that it just accomplished. And we'll stretch it out just briefly. Gently bring the right knee into the chest. From that, we'll start to roll out through that right ankle. Gently sending the right foot towards the ceiling, finding the hamstring stretch, pointing and flexing into the foot. Keeping simple breathing. From here, that ankle comes out of the knee into a figure four stretch. Give it a little stretch through those glutes, out throughout your forearms and other thigh. You can even fold the knees in towards the chest for a deeper stretch. From there, let's reach that right leg forward. Allow the left knee to come in, roll out through that ankle. When you're ready, let's send that left foot all the way to the ceiling, pointing and flexing through the foot here. In our own time, cross that left ankle over the right knee. Once again, finding a figure four stretch. Remembering that you can always fold the knees into the chest. As those knees both fold into the chest here, we're going to roll ourselves up. Stacking the spine, finding a comfortable seated position. We finish with a few neck stretches. So we'll drop one ear over towards its shoulder. And then releasing the chin down. Just stretching through those scaling muscles in the neck. And then reach the chin up towards the ceiling. Come back to center and release all the way over to the other side. Dropping that ear down towards the shoulder. From there, the chin comes down, looking towards the floor. And slowly tracing the chin back up towards the ceiling. As we come back to center, lift the head, roll the shoulders back. And then roll those shoulders forward. From there, take an inhale, sweep the arms overhead. Exhale, bring it down. 2 more times, breathe in. 1 more time. And release. Awesome job today, you all. Thank you for being here. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, my name is Kourtney. I oversee the Living Well program. You're welcome to email me or the team at any time. We'd love to hear your ideas or just get any feedback to make this program better for you. But I hope you all have a wonderful Wednesday. You've got this. Conquer whatever this rest of the week brings, and I'll see you next time. Take care.